Greetings, Japan fans. In today's show, we're going to look at appraisals. Maishu, arigatou gozaimasu, and welcome back to the 9th year of the Leadership Japan series. And I'm your host in Tokyo, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guy committed to your success, president of Dale Carnegie Training Tokyo, Japan, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery. My new book in Japanese, Za Eigyo, is available on Amazon. We are broadcasting around the world from Minato-ku in the center of Tokyo, the leadership capital of Japan. This podcast brings insights, examples, and experience about leading in Japan, and trust me, it is different here. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn, who, unlike many other podcast hosts, have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on iTunes. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Tuesdays, the Presentations Japan series. Every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show. And Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Before we get going, today's handy Japanese phrase is psycho. Psycho. Sounds a bit like the English, someone who's crazy, you call them psycho. It sounds the same. So not spelled the same, but S-A-I-K-O in Japanese, if you put it into Romaji. But sounds the same. Psycho. Psycho. Good word. It means great. For example, if you were talking to someone on the phone and you're going to a beautiful onsen or something, having a nice weekend off or something, how's the onsen going? Psycho. It's great. Psycho. Or you're playing golf or something, and hey, you're talking in the middle of the day at lunchtime. How's the first 9 holes been going? How's the golf going? Psycho. Psycho. Great. Really going well. Loving it. Psycho. 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 This is episode number 448. Today we're talking about performance appraisals. How did it go in the last episode working on performance alignment? This week, we look at one of the most difficult areas of leadership, assessing others' work performance. This whole process is important because it leads to promotions, bonuses, bigger responsibilities, and also to people being deleted from the enterprise. No wonder each side of the table finds this process stressful. Employees become nervous in the situation, and bosses can also feel very uncomfortable. There's nothing worse than having to let people go who have been in your team unless they are completely hopeless or evil. This is rarely the case. We are usually having to fire people who are average or slightly below average, who the big bosses have nominated for the cut. I used to hate those department head meetings where the whole population of the organization is plotted on a bell curve of performance. By definition, a group of people will be in the bottom 10%, and that will include your own team members at different times. You try to defend them, but sometimes the edict is X number of people have to be fired, and you are the one who has to tell them. There's nothing more disheartening than to be the executioner following an organizational process you feel is seriously flawed. So how can we go about doing performance appraisals where we are not the merchant of doom and deletion, but working with the survivors? We can use RAVE, R-A-V-E, as a formula. R, review the performance results description. There will always be a standard against which the person's abilities and results can be judged. We are looking at their should be. What are they supposed to be achieving? This is the performance achievement we want to see. Often these are numbers, so the ideal outcomes are clear. With other jobs, however, there is more of a qualitative component which thrusts us into the foggy world of subjective judgments. A. Analyse the monthly projects lists. We are looking for the as-is performance currently being achieved. How is the individual doing across their key elements of the business? Where are they doing well? And where are they falling short relative to the should-be goals? What are their issues around non-performance? If we're not seeing the levels required, then we have to make some decisions. Is the person in the right job? This is a major decision point. It may be they are not, and we can try and create a better fit for them. Perhaps we've realised they cannot make it and have to leave the firm. They are not necessarily a bad person, but their capacity is below what the organisation needs to succeed, and they have to be replaced with someone who is more capable. If we decide we should continue with them, we are interested in what changes need to be made to make the goals a reality. How can we help them to be successful? Where are there opportunities for improvement? In which areas will their improved performance help move the business closer toward achieving the outcomes required? This requires good clarity around what needs to be delivered and preferably outcomes which can be measured. These could be results of activities which lead to outcome results. Find out more. We come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public programs, but we also do custom-made in-house classes. Now, we do them in our super safe classroom, we do them live online, and we do them in Japanese, and we do them in English. Today's show is being brought to you by, on the 2nd of February, a Dale Carnegie course, a 12-week program. On the 8th of February, we're doing Confident English. It's a 4-week program. On the 14th of February, we're doing Leadership Training for Managers. Main modules are done over 7 weeks. And on the 16th of February, we're doing the 3-day version of the Dale Carnegie course. Our website is www.dale, D-A-L-E hyphen Carnegie, C-A-R-N-E-G-I-E .co.jp. You can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching videos, then we have over 1,000 for you there at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. Get my best-selling books, Japan Sales Mastery, the Bible for selling in Japan, and Japan Business Mastery, as well as my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's a premier business show in Japan, comes out Mondays. Fridays, we have Japan Business Mastery Show. Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders in Japan from SMEs all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. Don't forget, you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Welcome back. V is for vision in the RAVE acronym. Vision. What does future success look like for the individual? We need to be very frank and clear about any gaps they need to close. Where does time, energy, and resources need to be committed to help them grow? What will their individual growth look like? What assistance do they need to get to the next level? What do they need to be working on in order to move up inside the company? Sometimes bosses fear helping their staff move up inside the company because they worry their own job will be lost and their subordinate will replace them. It is possible, but if you're doing a great job becoming a leader-producing machine, the organisation is more likely to give you more responsibility, All organizations are looking for leaders, and if you can create them, that will be seen as an indication that you need to be promoted. Also remember, you cannot move up if there is no one to take over the job from you. So we all need to educate our successors so that we can move up. E, encourage the person. So often, the performance assessment meeting demotivates the staff member. The leader's communication style and approach are critical to ensure the person becomes even more engaged around achieving their next year's targets. The review itself is a look backward to what happened. The process also has to set up the future as well and inspire the individual to do their best. This is probably one of the biggest breakdowns between the level the boss needs to be operating at and the actual communication job they are doing. Let's work much harder on this part of the process is extremely good advice for all of us. We only do these appraisals a few times a year, so it is hard to become skilled. So we need to prepare extremely well to make up for the lack of repetition needed to make us better at it. RAVE, RAVE, gives us a simple formula to use when doing work appraisals and against which to prepare ourselves. Thank you for joining the Leadership Japan series. If you found the program useful, then share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Take what you found valuable, immediately put into action, because idea application is what makes winners winners. Be one of them. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.